Right, obviously not much happening now, so what we're looking for is a shift lower in market structure, but if it actually occurs right now, it'll put the hourly back to being bullish, which would give us a neutral bias. So we shall speak when we get some sort of short-term low put in place. We start to shift market structure in this first day of macro, and we get a model that we will capitalize on. I've seen many of you guys do a lot of backtesting as well recently, which is great. I've seen this backtesting VIP only chat just popping off. Everyone 50 plus messages at 7 p.m. So you guys have been absolutely killing it for backtesting. You've been putting in the work, whether it's only one of you, two of you, or quite a few of you actually. Mainly the usual backtesters, but I encourage majority of you guys and more of you guys to be backtesting more and posting inside of this chat. So other people can look at your position, because as much as you may think you made the right decision on a position backtesting, okay, or even put your backtesting results of the trades that you've taken, just send a screenshot in, and then other people will naturally look at it and call you out on your mistakes, including myself. So use to that of your advantage the backtesting channel there, and then our previous recording from the other days there. So if you want to go over that, feel free to do so. I still need to fetch the other backtesting session we did the other day, because there was one recorded that's privately on YouTube. I need to find the link for that. I will fish that in and put it in the chat for you guys as well. As far as the sheet that everyone filled out, the Excel sheet, I just need to put this in and then put everyone on a leaderboard. And we'll update it, say, every week or every month and see where everyone's at. That's how we would do it. Did you get your test results? Yes, I did. I certainly did. It didn't come back as strong as last time, because maybe I done it at there we go. Let me just check this message. Yeah, it didn't come back as strong as I was expecting, because last time I was in the 900s, but this time it came back at 818 for total test. Let me look. Yeah, so we put a bullish order block in on ES, which is good to see. So if we shift market structure now, lower, then we're taking shorts. It's as simple as that. Do you ever look at Mag 7? I mean, what is this? Is this like James Bond 007 or something? What's Mag 7? I'm just looking for a shift in market structure, and then we're looking for shorts. We got a bearish bias. I mean, I just want to check the 5 minute and just update our bias, because we might be misleaded here, because we was working previously off a bearish 5. So let's see. Let me turn this chat off 1 second. This chat just doesn't stop. I need to have a look. Well, you see, with the bias on the 5 right now, it's now neutral 5. Yeah, it's a neutral. Let me just make NQ a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to purchase a new monitor. I don't like this monitor anymore. I want to get my Samsung G9 monitor back, the ultra wide monitor. I need to get it back, because then I can do the bias a lot easier. But yeah, it's a neutral 5, so let's update this. 15. The 15 goes bearish at this point. Yeah, there's no imbalances here on the 15 that we're looking at. And We inversed it, but then we took the high, so it's a neutral 15. Potentially the hourly's just gone bearish there. Yeah, it has. Yeah. Bearish hourly. Not quite bearish 15. 5. Yeah, the first 5 and 15 they lie at the same point, so it's quite a reference there. 5.15. Daily. Stay the same. Yeah, so basically we've got a neutral bias until price trades about 5 points higher, and then we go bearish. There you go. Not quite. I might have actually just traded into it. Yeah. There you go. So we've traded in the 5 and 15, so they're both bearish. Alright, bearish bias. Simple. So we're looking for a shift now out of that. It's a strong bearish bias now. I'm going to delete this high. I'll delete this low for a shift. I can delete buy side. I'm going to change this to equal London lows. Bring this back. Bearish SMT on ES. And same goes for ES. We did not take London, so it's equal. That's it. So we have a very clean draw lower for equal London lows, Asia lows, and previous day lows. So we got some lovely draws for price to go lower. A bearish bias, and then right now we're just looking for a shift lower in market structure. This is looking clean, guys. So we're going to wait for price to change from a bullish scenario to being bearish. Bearish shift. Alright, let me reopen the chat now. I've got the bias under control. Are you still holding your Bitcoin short after entering that gap on the daily? Well, I didn't enter short on the gap on the daily. Let me explain that. So my Bitcoin short, I didn't enter. Yes, I'm still in the position, but I didn't enter where you think I entered. I entered months ago. So the point that everyone entered inside of this group was, what have I done? There you go, play back. Yeah, so basically daily time frame, I put it inside of the group at this point, 13th of October, or around the 12th. Around this area, you guys had the opportunity to go short, and I told you to go short. Many of you guys did. So you got short at 115, 114-ish fill. I actually went short at 118.5 back in August. So at this area here of this daily bearish order block, I went short at 118.5, which you can see here. So this was back in August, and then you guys were notified because the group only just got created at this point. So as soon as it was available, I told you guys. You took the short, and I'm still short on Bitcoin, and I'm looking at this area. So 75, I mean, I've been saying it the whole time. We're looking at 75.6, and we went break even at 98.2. Okay, so I don't know how much I'm floating up. I think last time I checked, it was very close to 70k profit. It's not a big position for me. It's only 15% of the portfolio on a 2x leverage. and liquidation's still at 210k USD per Bitcoin. So, you know, we are not going to hit our stop loss, and my stop's at break even right now. So basically 118.5, if we trade back to that area, which is highly unlikely, then I'll get taken out of break even. I don't lose 70k, you know, I've not taken any sort of profit, so it's not losing money or anything. You know, I'm holding this position until we either get 75 or 118.5, and I'm confident for 75, so I remain in my position. Simple. We don't take a partial, you know, nothing. Having a possibility of pushing back up again, yeah, we'll just trade back into bearish imbalances, or trade and take this high, trade and take this high, and if it trades and take this high enough to then take me out, then fine, it's not a problem. But I expect price to continue repricing lower. Not this aggressively, this is very aggressive, not as aggressive as I actually believed. So this is a very bearish case scenario, but I definitely expected price to trade lower and then have some sort of energetic moves like this. And usually when this happens, it will cool off for a week or even 2 weeks. It will trade back to this high, and then it will go. So we'll see. I'm not here to predict price. I'm in the position, so I couldn't really care less. Whether you're in a Ethereum short or Bitcoin short, vice versa, they're both in a very nice tidy profit. That NMR short I took the other day, you can see it's traded all the way back to $10. You see, that was a 50% gain in a couple days. I secured only around a 25% gain, but it's traded all the way back, and I closed out that position. Any plans for Bitcoin / crypto masterclass for Discord? I don't know, maybe. We'll see. It's something that takes many hours, so we'll have to see if we get time to it. You know, you guys already understand pretty much the whole concept, but it's easier for me personally to just tell you guys when to. It's only 1 to 2 positions per year. It's easier for me to guide you guys through that and just say take a short, take a long. And then with futures, you guys understand the model to the T of what we trade. Ninja, what is your name? Did you just text me now, or? Yeah, I've already texted you, I mean. Yeah. Yeah, Jax, brother, we already spoke. I mean, we're speaking tomorrow. On Thursday. So, Thursday before the Open. And Ninja, brother, we have already got that in. It's already done. Yeah, so the 5 is still bearish. The 15 is bearish. So obviously the hourly closed, but that's bearish on the hourly. And the 4 hours actually about to go bearish. You can see there. So we're going bearish on the 4 hour right now. How many points is that? That's a 400-point move. Previous day high, the draw. When you reference previous day high, we've already taken it. So you're talking about, which area are you talking about? So from Tuesday, we've taken Tuesday's high, which was that point of buy side. Potentially you're referencing this high, which is the next point of buy side. Someone said Nvidia's earnings is coming out. Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Michael Barry's portfolio is currently doing after that comes out. Obviously, Michael Barry holds a very large position shorts on Nvidia and Palantir. That is the reason why. I mean, that's the reason why everyone's portfolios is absolutely tanking or getting liquidated at the moment, because they don't know what they're doing. I even seen well, whether it was real or not, but even Andrew Tate lost 700k in a Bitcoin long, got liquidated. Came into my portfolio, into my shorts. Yeah, midnight to midnight, that's how we do previous day high and low. To be honest, guys, after a move like this, which is so aggressive, energetic move like this, the likely scenario of getting what we want, which is shorts, is not going to happen. And we're likely going to see between now, literally from now, whether we trade towards buy side, that will be the final push. It won't go any higher than that. Basically, it'll be from 10:45 to the second macro. This whole period is going to do nothing, and then we can see some sort of run on stops, and that's the position that we're looking for. So we got a bearish bias, we're looking for a shift, and a shift at this point is likely just retracing back to bullish PD raise. So we do actually want to see price do nothing and just accumulate, take a high, boom, shift. So that's the likely scenario. Alright guys, so I mean that's the end of the first day of macro. It was only possible to get a position if this 10-12 was the shift and the creator of the gap, which didn't happen. So we're likely to see it accumulate. It's very rare that price will actually create this discount straight away. It doesn't go premium and straight back to discount. It's very rare. So yeah, it stands for end of macro. We're likely to just see some sort of accumulation, and then from that point, looking for shorts. You know, this would be a very clean short if we seen it shift below that nice clean bullish order block, but you know we didn't. So let's wait for the second AM, watch it accumulate, take buy side, so on and so forth. So I'll chat to you guys for the second day of macro. Yeah, we'll see whether we get a power 3 or what we get for the second AM, so we approach accordingly. Right, hello guys, welcome back for the second macro here, and we're looking with a bullish bias right now. It might seem confusing that we're in a premium, but this is one of these scenarios, okay, where price is in a premium, but our bias on the 5 is bullish, the 15 is bullish. You can see on the daily, we're still bullish. So there's a bullish bias. Now the 4 hours bearish and so is the hourly, but we're leaning towards a 60% bullish bias here, so shorts is not the play. And basically, a shift higher in market structure would be a continuation model where we've just swept minus L side. We're looking for a shift higher in market structure. I want to see ES shift market structure higher as well. And this is going to give us a model for longs. That's what we want to see for price to trade back towards this high. Yeah, that's correct. The 15 would be neutral from that bearish gap to the left. Yeah, it's a neutral 15 off this point. As of now, we've swept sell side. Let me change this 15. Yeah. So it's a neutral bias. That's a good example. For those of you that don't understand a neutral bias when you're in an imbalance, you can see that we have this bearish imbalance here. And then we also have this bullish imbalance. You see how they overlap? You see this space here for price? This is a neutral. Everything inside of here is neutral because these gaps overlap. If that makes sense. So regardless whether you're in the bullish gap or the bearish gap, they're both drawing both ways, so it neutralizes the 15. So ES just put a short-term high. So the bias right now on the 15 is bullish. Yeah, Samuka, brother, how many trades do you need for your next payout? Is it like 4 winning days you need? Or is it like 3, 4 winning days? Something around that. 1 more day. Perfect. How many accounts has he got? He's with Top Step. So that's 25 plus 25 plus 30 or 25. So what's that going to put you at? 80k? Yeah, that's mad. Come on. Yeah, he's done it all with Top Step. He's actually fucked Top Step. Yeah, apologies, brother. Now they're all gonna start texting you. Don't spam his DM. Don't start texting my brother Samuka. Don't spam his DM. Leave him in peace. Yeah, he's taken a few of his own positions and our positions as well to get him to that position. The difference between NQZ and NQ? Well, we're actually trading a specific contract, which is the December contract. NQ is just a generic auto roll contract. So if you type in NQ1 with the exclamation mark, that's just a normal standard contract that just auto rolls. But I like to specifically be on the contract at the time we should be trading it. So we would change next to, I believe, the March contract, which would be the next one. Which usually we switch to March once there's higher open interest and this contract basically dies off. Alright, this is actually good what we're seeing here. Price coming into more of a discount, so it's going to allow us to look for longs. Yeah, there's people inside of this group, they've backtested the whole year. So if you haven't even backtested a month of price action, then you're seriously slacking. You know, I just spoke with my brother Jacob, and he backtested the whole year. So he's not playing games, you know. It's important that you're putting in the work to actually backtest the model. Even if you make a mistake in backtesting, that's something on why you should post your backtested trades inside of the group, because other people are going to say that's not valid and you shouldn't have got that result, or you shouldn't have taken this, that. So it's important. And then you're going to have an expectation. Otherwise, if you always just forward test, it's going to take you months and months until you actually know where you're at yourself, like independently, because forward testing live, you guys are most likely only going to take my positions and some of your own. But following this model specifically, I suggest you backtest. Holy shit, guys, holy shit. $89,000 Bitcoin. Fucking hell, I mean, should we see how much we're up? One sec. Let's have a look. I think this is record lows. 89.9. We're in the 80s, guys. They're starting to shit themselves now. Oh dear. It was at 89 yesterday. This is my first time seeing it at 89. I think I was sleeping last time I was at 89. Alright, so the average entry at 118.5. 24.2%. Okay, so 24.2% on a 2x leverage. Times by 2. I'm up 48.4% on the money. 160k on a 2x leverage, which on my money, 48.2%. I'm up $77,120 on Bitcoin shorts right now. It's nice, isn't it? A little extra income. Does Anton K still do seminars in London? Just curious. I don't actually know. That's a good question. I would actually really like to go to one of his seminars, even though I'm not going to learn much from it and change my model. But I really like listening to him, because in the early days, I listened to him the most, and he was someone that I listened to quite a lot. Now, some of his point of views recently, I heard one point which he did say didn't really make much sense. But yeah, I'd very much want to go to one of his seminars. I don't actually know if he's still running them. I mean, he's getting pretty old now, isn't he? So I know what's his name? Not David Paul. Yeah, maybe David Paul. Was it David Paul? He used to do seminars. Let me check if it's David Paul. Yeah, it is. Yeah, David Paul used to do cinemas, but he died. But yeah, Anton Kreil's a G. I guess you'd have to check on his social media to see when he's hosting a seminar, to be honest, and attend that. Yeah, I went to the only cinema. I don't even know if I say that word right, but the only one that I've actually ever been to in my life is I went to Samuel Leeds seminar in London. This was just at the start. This must have been literally as I was learning ICT, because I was in the mix between ICT and doing HMOs and real estate in the UK, and that was my two plans moving forward of what I was going to get into. And then ICT reached my first payout, and that's when I just fully dropped off looking at real estate in the UK. And I attended his seminar, but I wasn't really too confident walking out of it because he tried to essentially sell everyone onto some sort of program, and it almost seemed like he was trying to make money out of the audience. And I didn't actually learn too much from even being there. I took some notes, and he said a few things which was interesting, but it was nothing that I didn't really already know. I only learned a few things, right, on apps and softwares on how to look for real estate deals, but it was the softwares that he was saying was subscription based, and he was affiliated with them. So it's like he basically just upsold everyone in the audience. I don't like this Samuel Leeds guy. I don't think he's good. I didn't really gain too much benefit, and that's when I just went full on ICT after that seminar. That's the only one I've ever gone to. Apart from that, I would like to see Anton Kreil's seminar. That would be interesting. He was in BBC as someone committed suicide paying home lots of money. Paying him? You mean him or home? That's mad. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Is that what you're saying? Someone committed suicide from paying Samuel Leeds money? So I'm saying this Samuel Leeds guy. He didn't really give me much benefit, to be honest. I didn't really see the benefit. Yeah, I went to that back in 2022, that seminar. I must have been in Q2 or the start of 2022, and I attended the seminar. And I sat down with Keswick, and we turned up like 30 minutes late. I didn't. I think basically we stayed in the Hard Rock Hotel in London, and we must have overslept. They ran the meeting at 9 a.m. I think we woke up at 10. Went down to the seminar, was 30 minutes late. We didn't miss anything important because I think he was trying to sell to everyone at the start. So, we rocked up, we sat down, and then me and Keswick kind of just walked out and we said, look, we're focusing on ICT, and that's it. This real estate is not something we are too focused in generating actual income in the early stages. Because we walked into a real estate seminar, and at the time we had like $1,000 or $2,000 in our bank. So what exactly are we going to do with real estate? We're not going to start moving buildings like we're Jesus, Muneb, brother, you always love to ask the every question under the sun. I know there is a lot of questions to be asked, but I'm not going to answer that question. I've already discussed about that topic before. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to talk on it. Alright, so let's just look at bias, because if we shift above this high, we do have a bearish order block on ES. And this, as of now, is a bearish 5. Bullish 15. We're about to get a bullish hourly. Let's see whether we get the hourly to be bullish. Still bearish on the 4 hour and bullish there. Yeah, so essentially, if price takes this short-term low, then we can look for longs. Yeah, that's actually a very true statement. In business, there's 3 types of people. As Ren said, you got the enthusiastic, I don't know, even enthusiast? Yeah, so the ones that kind of, there you go, so that makes the hourly bullish there. So if we shift structure higher here, this would be a valid model for longs, or whether we continue towards London. So I'm interested in looking for longs if we shift higher. Yeah, so you get the enthusiasts who kind of, essentially they sell you the dream, right? So they're going to be the people on social media in the trading space that say you only have to do this, or whatever. It's a industry that is the most difficult in the world, so it's not something that's easily acquirable just by doing this. Okay, so you need to learn exactly what you're doing. It's not that simple. And then you have the salespeople who are just basically the same as the enthusiasts. They're just gonna sell you on a load of shit. And then the people who have done it, and that's obviously myself. And I don't give a shit whether someone wants to watch me trade live or not. You know, if one person watched me trade live or no one, I couldn't care less. So you guys, I'm just guiding you through the macro, and if you decide to take your own position, if you decide to take a short or decide to take a long at any point, don't think I'm holding you back from taking a position. Okay, so you may be here to learn my model, but if you see something that you personally want to take, or you're trading another model at the same time, which I don't recommend, which doesn't make any sense as well at the same time, why would you trade 2 different models? Then go ahead and trade a different model. But I specifically trade this model. So far this year I'm at 1.3 million, and this month I'm down 2.4R on the month, so I'm down, I'm in a negative. Okay, last month I closed up 200, well actually it was like 200,000 on the dot profit last month. You guys seen it, you know. It gets boring at times. We don't take many positions, but high probability positions. And yes, we haven't taken a position. How many days is it now? 7 or 8 trading days? It must be like around 5 trading days at least. So yeah, 6 or 7, something like that. So, you know, we do go through periods in the year where we don't take positions for, you know, a little bit of time. So that's something you also have to backtest. You need to see this in your backtest and say, okay, I haven't actually taken a position in 5 days of backtesting here. I can expect this for the future. Okay, I backtested through August and I took 7 winning trades in a row. I can expect this for the future. Okay, I traded during May backtesting and I took 5 losses in a row. expect that for the future. You will take 5 losses in a row in the future if you did that on backtesting. If you backtested and took 10 winning trades in a row, that will happen in the future. It's a probable case scenario that it will play out in the future. But as I repeat to you guys again, this business is what gets you into other business. Okay, so next year I'm going to ensure every single one of you are getting into other positions that we're taking. Bitcoin, I'm currently up 77 or probably more. Let me see. Yeah, so it's about 77k in a profit right now, which relatively it's not much, but my crypto portfolio has now surpassed 1 million. Okay, so I've added to it with payouts, withdrawals from my live account, etc. And I'm getting more heavier on the crypto portfolio, as once it trades below 75, I'm looking for longs. Simple. I've seen people take longs at 98. Dodgy, whatever his fucking name is, Dodgy. He's a dodgy guy, that's what he is. And he took longs and said and put it on Twitter that it was a good opportunity to buy Bitcoin at 98k. And another opportunity around 90, what did he say, 95? It doesn't matter what other people say, but do your own understanding on what is a good opportunity, because if Bitcoin is trading up 200% in a given cycle and trades lower for 1 month of price action, we see a 1 month discount and we have people buying. There is no fear set into price. If you are not currently looking at the Bitcoin price, or you're looking at the futures market or the Nasdaq, and you're looking at all assets, and you're not in a point of fear or concern for the economy, then you're not in a discount and a point to be buying. Okay, that is number one. You need to look at economic outlook on what actually is realistic, what actually needs to happen to the economy right now. It was stated months ago in a Fed meeting that I've told you guys 20 times in a row, that Jerome Powell himself said the economy and all assets need to cool off. It needs to cool off. And what are they doing? It's at 24/7. We was trading at 26k Nasdaq on futures. Now, yes, this can recover in a few days, but we are gradually seeing, if you look at the daily time frame, the Nasdaq shall return to 22 to 23k and even back to 20. Okay, so slowly but surely it is coming into a discount. My mum sold her home a couple years ago. She's sitting on cash. I'd like to tell her to buy Bitcoin at 75. So basically, we're not buying Bitcoin at 75. We only impulsively buy Bitcoin if it hits $50,000. So $50,000 Bitcoin, I shall purchase with what I have, which will be the whole portfolio at 50k. Now, Bitcoin trading at 75 does not automatically make me purchase Bitcoin at 75. The number to me does not make a difference at all. I shall be tracking large wallets, okay, to seeing what is currently happening on larger wallets around that area. And then I'm also going to be looking and reading into what the Fed is saying at the current time. So basically I'm just looking at, are they dropping rates, or are they keeping the rates still quite high? And then the final thing is just looking for the model on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. So on the daily, I'm looking for a shift, or on the 4-hour time frame, nice clean shift in market structure, sweeper sell side, preferably trading out of a monthly or weekly bullish gap, and that's it. And I will take a long below 75k. But that basically saves you from buying Bitcoin at 75k, because it will give you a model. It's not going to trade back to all-time highs. You're not going to miss it, okay? But it saves you from the fact of buying at 75 and then it trades back towards 50. So if you don't get the model and it continues to be in a bearish scenario, because we don't know as a trader how low price will go. You don't know this until everything lines up. So we wait for it to line up, then we will take the position, whether that's at 50, 75. If it trades towards 50, I automatically buy, because that is a very deep discount. I shall buy at 50, but I will not be buying at 75. That's discount. That's not like emergency discount. That's not recession deep discount or something worrying. That's where I just look for the model, if that makes sense. So yeah, I know it's a bit of a rant, but it's good for me to explain it to you guys. But yeah, I mean, with your mum selling her home as well, I don't advise that she invests the whole amount into Bitcoin. Potentially half, and then half into a high interest, bonds or a savings account. That's what I would personally recommend. So half, not 100%. You got to really spread the portfolio. So at the time, if the Nasdaq's trading at, say, let's say the Nasdaq's trading below 20,000 and Bitcoin's around 65, and you have major blue chip stocks like Apple, Microsoft, etc., then range your portfolio. Have a vary. Tell it to vary it. So do 50% Bitcoin, and then 25%. It really depends on the stock at the time. I don't personally trade stocks. I don't hold stocks. I never have, and I never have made any sort of money as far as stock portfolio. I can easily guide you guys on that though. It's not a problem. Our model applies to all markets. It's not an issue. You see how all intraday is bullish at the moment? We can change that. %80 bullish bias, so we're looking for a shift. That bearish order block. So just a shift right now in market structure, that's all we need. And then we'll be in for a long. Yeah, so outside of macro, that was a good call. I got a bit carried away with talking about Bitcoin. Alright, so we're looking at the lunch macro here. Final macro of the day. If it gets to 50, would we now not wait for any macro news deeper down? No, so Bitcoin trading at $50,000 would be a extreme discount. And that's the last point of sell side that it would likely take. It's not going to trade lower to 30 or 20,000. That's just impossible. It's not actually possible for that to happen. Reason being is because now we have hedge funds in the space like BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and we have a lot of big people in the space who actually just never will sell their portfolio. It's not possible with them not selling for Bitcoin to trade back to around 20, 30,000. So if it does go to around 50, I know we are essentially at the bottom of the bear market, so I will be buying straight away. But around 75, I'll just be looking for the model, because all liquidation will be out of the way from 75k, and then we don't really have much liquidation below 75. It's all resting around 75 to 85k. That's where all the liquidation is at. And whether it trades back to the highs now, I'll be ultimately surprised if Bitcoin trades back to the highs now. That'll be unexpected, and essentially I'll lose 77k worth of profit, but it's not realized, so I don't care. I wonder how much C4, how much did he make? I think he's got the audio off. I have to see how much he made. I think he made like 5k, but he sold it. He sold his position, his Bitcoin short at 98 when I went break even. Do you have any thoughts on Ethereum? I have a lot, but don't want to sell it at this price. Oh, brother. When did you join the Discord? How long have you been in the Discord for? I mean, have you not heard our conversations? I mean, even my dad's in a Bitcoin short right now. It's like, who isn't? My dad actually got a way better fill than I did, because I entered short in August and he entered short a few weeks later when it took the high. So when price made all-time highs again and I was in a bit of a drawdown for a little bit, he entered short around 120. You're probably thinking, how the fuck's my dad taking positions as well? Well, someone's got to guide someone, you know, so that's all it is. If I give them money, then they got to make more, you know, so I give them the steps. I got it for free from an NFT, so looking more long term. Well, surely you're trying to make the most amount of money, no? Did you not be inside this Discord, say, 3-4 weeks ago? Do you not consider selling your position? I mean, I sold my Ethereum position. When did I sell it? I sold it for a decent profit, I think. How much did I make? I made around 200-ish. 200-ish. I can't even remember. I took one position this year, and it was actually on Ethereum. I took a long on Ethereum back in when I was in Spain. I was in Marbella, and I took a long. Ethereum was trading at 1.4k, and I sold around 4.5, 4.8-ish. Yeah, 4.6. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, Ethereum's not something you want to hold long term anyway, because Ethereum actually is a useless coin in the space, and it is sat second market cap, but the actual usability of Ethereum is pretty useless now in the crypto space, and when people really wake up in the next 5 years, it just doesn't get used. It's pretty pointless network. It's expensive for fees. It takes a long time to process. 1 to 5 minutes. It used to be 30 minutes. Yes, they did it Ethereum 2.0 and everything sped up slightly, but it's still slower, much slower than other networks, okay, that are going to be used. Yeah, I even remember back in 2020, I told my uncle, he's like 70 years old. I told my uncle to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin. So obviously that was my first position I took, but he actually bought Ethereum. I didn't even buy Ethereum because I wasn't too aware of the crypto space in general. And this was back in 2020. I went long on Bitcoin, and it was priced at 9.5k Bitcoin back in 2020. But the most amazing thing is that he took a long on Ethereum at $200. $200. It was like 198 or 19. It was in the 190s for Ethereum back then. It was extremely low, and then that cycle, it absolutely blew up. I only sold around 30k. I got around only a 3x. It was a 3x on $800, but at the time I felt rich, you know, back in 2020. I was still in school. Yeah, the number one is Bitcoin, and that's the only coin that you want to be trading. And you can trade Ethereum, but trade it, don't hold it over the long term. Bitcoin's going to outperform Ethereum in the long term, so make sure that your long-term portfolio is Bitcoin heavy and you manage it accordingly. I don't believe in holding long term. If you understand price, then I make way more than just holding Bitcoin. Alright, so we're waiting for this lunch macro, and we'll see what we get inside of lunch. ES might end up taking London lows as well. Oh yes guys, this is absolutely lovely. So we've got a bullish bias. Price is starting to shift market structure. We'll see if we get this shift. We've got a bearish order block on ES. If we form a gap here, I'm going to be taking a long. Bullish buy, sweeper sell side, and then we're just looking for a shift, which has price shifted on NQ. Now we see if we form a gap. If we form a gap, then we take a long. The gap got closed, so no position there. We can still look for a shift higher, so we're still waiting for price to shift. But there's no gap on NQ, so there's no position right now. Sean, brother, you're moving like the police. You're asking Sam Muka some investigation police questions here. It would just be a 5-minute high. So if we're looking at the 5-minute, this high is a point of minor eyesight that we'd look at. So you wouldn't want it to take out this high. So essentially price shifting above these highs is fine because we shifted above this high but just didn't create the gap. So I just want to see a more prominent shift, and that can still happen at this point. It's fine. Yeah, they're moving like the feds. Man said federals. HMRC. Well, I paid HMRC quite a lot from my second year. 2023 I had to pay, and 2024 actually, a little bit of 2024. Yeah, it was like 23, 24, that tax year, I got fucked. I had to pay HMRC on a payment plan. That was my first kind of above $250,000 year of prop firm payouts. I had to pay HMRC my fair share of tax, and that's when I departed. I was out. No more UK bank accounts and paying tax in the UK, thank you. Well, yeah, you just got to stay away from them as long as you can, but they ended up sending someone to my door, so there wasn't much I could do, you know. It came to the point that me returning to the UK would mean that I'd be arrested, so I ended up paying the tax so I could return to the UK. It was around 170-ish, I believe, £1,000. So I paid it. For what though? For what? Last time I was in the UK, the roads were shit, the healthcare's shit, the people are shit, the weather's shit, the transport's shit, the gyms are shit. The safety shit. This is why everyone's left the UK. Okay, and you guys in the UK know. You know how shit it is. Because you're going to be leaving yourself. Even the food shit. Nah, the food's alright. The restaurants are not bad. Look, don't make everything bad. The food in the UK, I actually think, is decent. I'll give them the food. They can have that. Because, you know, Europe in general, food's good. Come to Norway. Fuck that, brother. I'm definitely not going Norway. Oh no, I thought Norway was in the UK. My bad. Where is Norway? Norway's a nice place, isn't it? It's in Europe. My bad. I thought Norway was in the UK for a second. What's that place but starting with N in the UK, which is like Norway? Norwich. I thought you meant Norwich, brother. Sorry. Yeah, so I mean, even if we shift above this high here, this is going to be a inverse pair of shoulder block on both assets, but see, it's failing to shift. So this second failure to shift market structure is just not what we want to see. So this basically implies that we're going to trade out of this bearish shoulder block back to the low. This is not what we want to see in a bullish scenario, you know. Come to Cyprus. I went to Cyprus and I think it's amazing. I actually really like it. It's full of English people, but I actually really like Cyprus. I had a great time. Nice women, nice weather, nice food. Half Turkish, half English. It's a small island. It's sick. And even, actually guys, if you go to Cyprus and you register everything there, you still got a low tax rate in Cyprus. It's around 8%, you know, so Cyprus is sick. It's just not the biggest place, so you will see it all within your first week of being there. I think it's great. There you go, so obviously NQ's heading back towards that low. It failed to shift twice. It's going to now seek liquidity. So we took that first short-term low and still will look for a shift higher in market structure. This is fine. I'm from CY. Where is CY? There you go, it takes the low, so you know this is simple price action. Just reading price action. CY. Oh, you're from you're from Cyprus, okay. Yeah, I've been to only Africa one time, but I didn't go to Africa, you know what I mean? I went to Morocco. So it's not like I didn't actually feel like I was in Africa. I didn't like Morocco, by the way. No offense to people from Morocco. I was in a bad area. I went to where did I go? I've got Moroccan friends actually, but I didn't really like where I went. I went to Tangier in Morocco. I thought Tangier was shit. I want to go to Casablanca. I do want to go to Casablanca. Marrakesh, is that the capital? Oh, I don't want to go to Marrakesh, doesn't interest me. Casablanca though, because I do listen to some music from people from there, so see what it's saying. Yeah, for those of you that take a payout, if you like trading in the morning, go to Colombia. I mean, you're going to love Colombia. It is #1. You're trading around 8:30 or I believe 8:30 open, so you get it out of the way. You got the best women. The only downside, weather. I'd say the weather's not the best, but you still, like, who cares? You're still got 25 degrees Celsius. It's solid. You can get a nice place there, and then once the time's right, once you're hitting 100k months, or at least consistently 75 or 70k plus months, go to Miami if you like trading in the morning. I hate France. Yeah, I think France is shit. You're not wrong. I think France. I haven't been to France in a long time, but I just see everyone tells me it's shit. What about crime in Colombia? Well, there's plenty of crime to commit if you want to commit some crime in Colombia. But you know, as far as safety, it's actually a very safe place. Very safe in Medellin. If you go to the not the capital, Bogota is the capital. Bogota is shit. Very low quality women, bad weather, not much going on. But if you go to Medellin, you very much will like it. It is safe. As a tourist, you're going to be just fine. You're not going to get your kidney stolen and all that. You get your kidney stolen in Mexico. Okay? Mexico, they won't even take your kidney. They'll kill you if you go to the wrong place. In Colombia, you're going to be fine. It gets more dangerous as you go up towards Cali. I went to Cali and it gets more dangerous. In Cali, it is African Colombians. Because they had an immigration issue back in like 1980. I'm pretty sure. That's what I read into anyway. It's not actually like you wouldn't look at her and say you look Colombian. They're basically it's the same as African American. So the African Colombian in Cali. Personally, that's not my type, and it's not as tourist based in Cali. Still nice. Many people actually like it. Depends what you're into. But Medellin's for me. Holy shit. Oh, we got someone in Colombia right now. That looks like Medellin. No way. Oh no, it's not right now. Where is this? Is this Medellin? You did go Medellin, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, best food, best women, people are nice. You got some decent gyms there, you got nice apartments, good time zone. That's all you need. I mean, if you got a girlfriend, you should get rid of it, because if you're going to Colombia, you don't want a girlfriend when you're going to Colombia, okay? You're gonna find yourself 3 new ones. Okay, so the bearish order block is this one that we'd be looking at, and the shift is above of what we'd look for is this high. This is looking good. We failed to shift, we've gone back for liquidity, and then we're attempting to shift again. So eventually we will see a shift in market structure. Otherwise we'll trade towards London lows. It's in quite close proximity on ES. Yeah, I mean, you know, unless your girlfriend's on the same wavelength and you proper rate her, then, you know, stay and keep the relationship. But if you take your first payout and you feel it's holding you back, you need to let that weight off your shoulder, and you need to go straight to Colombia after your first payout. That's my advice. And then go from there and pick your location where you gotta lock in one place though. Make sure you're not always, you know, I fell victim to going to many different places. Now it's great, but you do need to stay in one place. That's how you're gonna really have the mental clarity. Buy land in Colombia? Yeah, great idea. It really is a great idea. If you buy land in Colombia, great investment. Really is. The property market there is growing very fast. Very fast. I was actually considering it instead of Dubai. It's funny you say that. The best place, in my opinion, to buy land in Medellin. When I went there, I did some like in-person market research, you know, and I found that the best opportunity was in the mountains in Medellin, where you purchase land essentially overlooking Medellin, because any sort of city like that, it's always going to be more expensive in the hills. So if you purchase in the hills and you have that opportunity, eventually at some point when they run out of land in the future, a developer will reach out to you to purchase that land, or you build on it yourself. and you will build the most beautiful villa which overlooks Medellin. You want to overlook Medellin. You don't want to be in Medellin. When you stay there, you don't want to be in the flood zone. Just picture it filling up like a bowl. This is Medellin. And you want to be at the top of the bowl. Not too high up. You know what I mean. Do I prefer Thailand or Colombia? I prefer Thailand because I'm trading in the evening, and in Colombia I get distracted and I end up waking up, you know, with tiredness like you've never seen before, because, you know, you go to sleep at 3 a.m. and you think you're waking up at 8 a.m, which you have to, otherwise you don't have an income. So yeah, you know, Thailand is my favourite, to be honest. Not for the women, but there's still some okay 6s and 7s, couple 8s. You know, not like Colombia. It really does not compare. But, you know, for me, making money is number one. But women, I'm not even bothered. So for me, I make the most in Thailand because of the time zone, and I have the mental clarity to take care of everything through the day. What time is first macro for me? I'm complete opposite of New York. So you see it as, well, you guys can see my screen. So basically, I don't know if you can see the top of my screen, but it's 11:57 in New York AM, and the time for me is 11:57. So I'm opposite. I'm PM. New York is AM. I don't know, the freedom that you have in Thailand, just no one gives a flying fuck. I just love it. I think last night I was on my bike, I was going about 255 for like 5 minutes straight. No police, no helicopters, no... I don't even think in Thailand they can't even fit a speed camera. It's not even a thing. I don't even think they've discovered that yet. No, I sleep at like 1 a.m. I want to get like another meal in. So another meal, yeah, about 1 a.m. But everything as far as work, any sort of business doesn't happen after midnight. It's just I would go out for a meal and that's it. I mean, the worst place in the world for speed cameras is number one, the UK. The UK is absolutely the worst place in the world for traffic fines, speed cameras, fines. Oh my god, the UK. I'm banned. I'm fucking banned in the UK. I cannot drive in the UK, even though I have done many times. I'm banned. I have 27 points. It's not even possible to get 27 points, but I have it. It's an achievement. I got banned in the UK 3 times. That's how I've achieved so many points. I was on 9 points, and then I got 1 uninsured driver, which was 6 points. And then after that, when I lost my license completely, because I was up to 17 points, I then drove a car again. I got another 6 points to put me up to 23, and then I topped it off with some more points. I don't know how I reached 27, but if I get caught driving again in the UK, which I won't, it is actually very serious. Okay, well, this is good to see, because we're seeing a shift in market structure, but we're just not holding a bullish gap. It's a weak shift in market structure. You see NQ keeps closing up. It's not a strong shift. So still nothing. But we would have just had an inverse bearish order block there. We just couldn't hold it. UK to Poland because they took his driver's license. Jumped over a roundabout. I mean, he should be in the Olympics. Like, how's it even possible to jump over a roundabout? That's what? How many meters is that? That's a world record. No wonder they took his bloody license, because if he's jumping roundabouts, what's he going to do in his car? Oh, he drove over a roundabout. Fucking hell. Oh dear. He basically went so fast, his car jumped over. They were surprised that the grass was mostly intact. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I've seen some crazy crashes from my hometown. People driving their good old shit boxes. I mean, that's what we call it in the UK. You know, they drive like the 1 litre cars when they're in sixth form. I had one friend. He had a Golf R. In the UK, you know, they class themselves as rich. Okay, so for those of you that are from the US, in the UK you're classed as rich if you have an RS3, an RS6, an M4, an M5, M6, Golf R. That's classed as rich in the UK because everyone's so broke. So basically, my friend, he had a Golf R and he drove it into someone's living room. He must have been doing about 70. Yeah, so you see failure to displace higher, just no position. It's traded back towards liquidity again. So we can still look for a shift higher in market structure. You know, he literally drove it into someone's living room and they were sat in the living room. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable that. I couldn't even believe it when he was telling me the story. It really did sound like a story. It didn't sound real. But coming from him, I knew it was real. No, he just believed that he could take the corner, and we redone that corner. This was back in 2020, 2021, and we redone this corner at a similar speed, and I took it. You know, this was, I don't know if you guys know the UK very well, but it's in Highcliffe. So we have Bournemouth, Southampton, and then next to Bournemouth you have Highcliffe. So you got Christchurch, and then you got next to Christchurch you have Highcliffe. I went to, because I got kicked out of school and I ended up going to Highcliffe school, so this is how we ended up in this situation, taking this corner anyway. So he's gone into some lady's house, into the living room, and he thought he could take the corner at 75 or 80, and it was a 90-degree bend. He obviously didn't know about the apex, and no, matter of fact, he knew the apex so well. Basically what actually happened is he tried to take the apex on the corner and his front left wheel hit the curb, which was the apex on the corner. So for those of you that don't know, the apex is the center point of the corner, what you have to take. So his wheel curbed and absolutely hit the apex, which sent him straight into someone's house. No, his name's not Jay. I mean, Jay, I don't know about this Jay guy, but he probably had a similar situation. Now, you guys are always going to look back at the broke days. It's very good memories. You have to obviously make sure you remember the broke days. There was this one road in specific. If you guys ever drive down to Bournemouth, if you guys are ever in Bournemouth from the UK or whatever, you go down to Bournemouth, take this road. You have the most fun of your life. There's a road, and you have to go pretty much flat out. I mean, I used to do it flat out. There's one road. It's called oh fuck, what's this road? Quite a lot of people have died on it, actually. I almost died. The amount of airtime. Well, I did it in a van. The last time I even went down that road was when I was absolutely dead broke. I was working for Amazon. I used to do it every day in the van. But all four wheels. Matcham's Road. No way. You see, only Greg would know. That's my cousin. Only Greg would know. Yeah, Matcham's Road. That's it. Matcham's Road is the one. Yeah, I used to take that flat out in the van, and there's like 5-6 different jumps, and you get an airtime down the whole way. Just make sure you hit the brakes at the end, because it's a 90 degrees. You just go straight into a tree. Yeah, Greg, how you been? Are you still down in Canada? Milo, what was your first car? My first car was a Mercedes A-Class. It was an A180D. It was a Cat S. Basically, a Cat S means it's been crashed before. That was the first car that I purchased myself. And I'm not gonna get into how I got it. This was back in 2019, 2020. I was 15. I was like 15, 16. I got a A-Class 180D. It was like about £5,000. But back then things weren't too good. Yeah, at 15. Yeah, I didn't have a license, so I bought that car. I basically bought it to make money. I was trying to sell the car for more. I ended up making only $100 on it because I didn't realize it was a Cat S. I purchased it thinking it wasn't. But basically at the time things weren't legally too good for me at the time. Let's just say it like that. So yeah, as far as business back then, but we won't get into that. Yeah, it was jokes. I didn't even know how to drive the car off when I bought it. I just, Ben told me how to drive it off. I actually got Ben to drive it home because I didn't even know how to drive it. No, there was no insurance on it. Just drove it home. The actual official car, the first car that I actually managed to have with a license, but it still had no insurance. I used it for security shifts. It was a BMW from London. It was £800. It was a BMW Series 1, 118D, and I used it for a few security shifts, and then it broke. Head gasket blew off, whatever happened to it. I sold it for about £200. It's really funny to look back at these days. So then I went from the BMW 118D to the Cullinan. Yeah, that was my next purchase and final purchase as of now. Matter of fact, I've actually just sold the Cullinan, guys. It's actually gone now. I managed to sell it, and it's headed back to Miami. I thought I'd tell you guys. That actually went a couple weeks ago, actually. Yep, the Cullinan is gone. They didn't let me take it out of the US, and I'm not going back for a little while, so... Yeah. The purple tank. Did I lose money on it? No, I actually didn't. No, I didn't. What's the next purchase? Well, after we push out of a Bitcoin position, then I sell the position on that. Sold the rolls, yeah. The rolls is sold, yeah. It's gone. It has been sold. I wasn't driving it. It was in the storage unit in Texas for about a month and a half. And I didn't see a reason to have it, because essentially I was just losing money on it, so it's gone. I would have shipped it to Thailand, and I couldn't because they didn't let me take it out of the US. Thailand's import tax is like 30 or 50%, so I'd have to pay like 200k or 150-ish on importing it to Thailand, so that wouldn't make sense. Only Dubai would make sense, but I don't like Dubai, so they wouldn't even let me take it out of the US. Yeah, it's sad to see it go, but I'm just not in the US, so it had to go. What's next? Well, the next car purchase would be a GTR. That's going to be the next purchase. I'm going to get a fully custom R35. GTR in Thailand? Yeah, potentially. I think car prices in Thailand are extremely high. I was looking at a couple GTRs and they're priced They're priced at about 200k USD. In the UK, I can get a GTR for like 50k pounds. So I preferably no, I don't want to pay almost 2-3 times the price. Let me just review the bias. See, we're at the end of the lunch macro here. We didn't get the opportunity for longs. So that's FMC meeting minutes day pretty much concluded there. What do you think about the Hurricane? Well, I don't fit in a Hurricane, so I can't get a Hurricane. I was actually, before I was to buy the Rolls Royce, I was looking at getting a McLaren 720S. I sat in it, I didn't fit. And I also looked at the 600 LT. Didn't fit in that. I didn't fit in the Ferrari Pista, so then I kind of got a bit pissed off, and I just that's why I got the Cullinan instead. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get a Hurricane, it's probably best you get like an STO. Yeah, get an STO, or I think, you know, for the same price, instead of getting a Hurricane, because everyone's got a Hurricane, it's like standard, especially down in Miami. You don't really want a Hurricane. You're better off going for a Ferrari like 458. Very similar price. Very similar price. I'd much rather have a Ferrari over a Hurricane. I prefer the Revolto, but yeah, I mean, we're talking like $1 million now. If you're talking like same price as a Hurricane, there's many Ferrari models that you can get which look way better, sound way better, and you know, if I do return to Miami in the future, then I would look at getting a Hennessy Venom GT, but the custom one, because they can actually custom make it by the team. They do custom make the Hennessy Venom GT by the team to specifically fit the driver. So that would be fucking sick. It's 2.7-ish million. I think one of the best cars. Anyways, this is it for our AM session today. No positions in the first, the second, or the third. You can see we didn't get an opportunity for longs. Okay, so I'm going to speak to you guys tomorrow for NFP, which comes out 8:30, and then we'll look for a position then.